Ladies and gentlemen, I have done it. I finally collected Ant-Man and the Wasp. So recently, I think this was like around last week, I was going on a Funko Pop hunt, and yeah, I figured the only place I could find these two bad boys were at Hot Topic, a store I should have explored a long time ago, because now it's probably going to be my new favorite place to go to, as there's a bunch of Funko Pops there. And I was hoping to find No Way Home Funko Pops, but I did found her, and sadly not him until I had to go to a different Hot Topic, all the way to a different mall, but luckily I was able to get this bad boy. Now, I'd say I finally am done collecting all of them, but if I wanted to get the Wasp without her helmet, I could give in. I don't know, but still though, I finally got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I just feel good about myself. And you know what? Since I'm reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp, I might as well just unbox these guys and have them out. Okay, but I am gonna put them back inside because I really don't want anything to happen to these Funko Pops, especially with what happened with Bucky, as I did a Funko Pop video of that, and just yeah, I somehow broke him inside my backpack, and I gotta open these very carefully. I like to take care. I really don't. Oh God, Okay, we're good. Still though. Wasp. Oh, by the way, my brother has both Funko Pops at his house, so that's honestly a relief. Now, they were originally my Funko Pops, but I'll let him keep them. I can just get new ones. But anyways, there they are. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Teaming up to fight against not only MODOK, but also Kang the Conqueror. Wait. Kang the Conqueror. I can't wait to pull these guys out once I review Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Anyways, with that being said, I'm just gonna put those back. Hello everyone, welcome back to another movie review on the channel. So yeah, I just finished watching Ant-Man and the Wasp today, as I am watching the first two Ant-Man movies in prep for Quantumania coming out this Friday. Now, I've already reviewed Ant-Man, now we're reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And not gonna lie, I am thinking of making a video talk about my experience of MCU movies, and by that I mean did I saw all of them in theaters, or did I saw most of them on DVD? I know specific ones I've seen in theaters. And I probably mentioned it in my Ant-Man review, but who knows when I'll have the chance to make that video. But sadly, I didn't have the chance to see Ant-Man in theaters. But luckily, I had the chance to see Ant-Man and the Wasp in theaters. Just only a week later. This came out on the 6th of July, but I saw this on the 13th, Friday the 13th. I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp on Friday the 13th. Still, with that being said, once I saw this in theaters, I absolutely loved it. Not gonna lie, this was on my top 10 list for MCU movies. Now, I then would see everyone just kinda not be a fan of this movie. Not that it was a bad MCU movie, just that, let's just say, all I've heard was that Ant-Man was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp and all that. Basically, everyone were just not too much a fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And like I said, they're not saying it was a bad movie from what I've heard. It's just their least favorite for Ant-Man movies. They just basically preferred the first one over the second one. I didn't understand what people were complaining about with Ant-Man and the Wasp. As I watched it recently, well, technically watched it about a month ago, as I caved in on watching the first two Ant-Man movies on a school night, because I could not stop thinking about wanting to watch them after watching the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania trailer. And now seeing it a couple of times, yeah, I can now see what they're talking about. Now, does that mean I agree with them? Yeah, pretty much. But here's my opinion on Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yeah, I can see why this is a bit of a step down from the first one, because it's kind of a bit of a step down from the first one, as this is just mainly lighthearted. It's a lighthearted sequel, as it's just mainly funny. It's a funny MCU movie. Well, at least it's a funny movie than Thor: Love and Thunder, because sadly that movie was way too funny. Because the comedy was just too funny. The problem with that was just, it was too funny. But still, so yeah, I can see why people weren't too much of a fan of this, as this was just a lighthearted sequel. But with that being said, it's still an entertaining movie, because I still love this movie, despite now having to agree with everyone what they're saying about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, honestly, I may just watch this movie a couple of times. I don't know. I mean, depends how many times I want to watch this, but just, like I said, I had this on my top 10 list. Well, it was on my top 10 list. Now it's not anymore, as I have already played. Honestly, it's gonna be hard just ranking movies, MCU movies, and what is my top 10 list right now? we'll have to see once I do another MCU ranking soon. But still, though, just basically what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, despite being a letdown from the first one, it's still an entertaining movie, as it's just a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I could watch this probably 5 times maybe, unless I stop at 3 or 4. Depends, really. But yeah, it's seriously a guilty pleasure for me, as I just enjoy seeing these two kick ass on screen. Now, before I talk about my thoughts with the movie, let's just talk about my experience with Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yeah, I was surprised that we were getting a sequel, I think. I forgot how I reacted to the news that we were getting a sequel, but I remember being hyped about it as we got a trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, I'm like almost saying Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, as I'm now used to saying that since the movie's coming out. Like, I'm trying to avoid saying Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania so I don't get confused, since I'm just talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, not Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, but still. So yeah, obviously I got hyped up as they released the trailer, but as the second trailer came out, let me tell you this, I watched that trailer on a freaking loop, because I was obsessed with it, mainly because of the trailer song. It takes two to everything alright. It takes two to make it out of Literally, I would watch that trailer on a loop. It's just one of my favorite MCU trailers of all time. I should probably do an MCU trailer ranking. I don't know. I'll think about it. Now, remember what I said earlier about making a video about my experience of which MCU movie I saw in theaters? Now, I probably should have been more specific. Not only will I possibly make a video talking about which MCU movie I saw in theaters or on DVD, I will also review which MCU movie I got spoiled on, because I think it all began back in 2018. Because sadly, I was spoiled for Ant-Man and the Wasp as I was going camping with my grandparents back in back in July or June, between June and July of 2018. I think it was mainly July of 2018. No, yeah, it was definitely July of 2018. Because I was on my tablet and I would watch videos about Ant-Man and the Wasp, and sadly, I watched a video where someone was explaining about the post-credit scenes, and they mentioned about the Wasp got blipped along with her parents, and that Hank was trapped in the quantum. And I'm like, no, what have I done? Dang it, Matthias. So yeah, the movie came out in theaters July 6th of 2018, and I saw this a week later with my brother, as my mom went to go see Skyscraper. So yeah, me and my mom and my brother went to go see 2 different movies on Friday the 13th, July 13th of 2018. And what's funny is that we were kind of next door, as there were only 2 theater rooms at our theater. Okay, so I'm ending this video, and I'm going to regret telling you this, but I had trouble trying to explain without revealing what theater it was, because let's just say I don't want to reveal my location, because I bet this is the same situation. Like, I bet YouTubers would not want anyone knowing where they live, respect their privacy and all that, but since I'm at a different location as I moved, hold on, how many months? No, yeah, 4 months ago, since we're in February. As I moved 4 months ago, I guess it's now safe to say which theater it was, now that I'm no longer living in that town that I had been living for 10 years. The theater I was talking about was Shelton Cinemas. So, we went to see so me and my brother and our mom went to go see two different movies, and it was Shelton Cinemas. Now, there's only 2 theater rooms in Shelton Cinemas, and the funny part was that we were practically next door, so yeah, I found that funny. But yeah, my mom was in theater 1, and I was in theater 2 with my brother, as we were both watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. But yeah, we were practically next door to each other. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm not making a stupid mistake or something, because I really don't want people knowing where I live. Like, I mean, you probably understand what I'm trying to say. I should probably let my dad know about this. He's technically the expert. I don't know. I don't know how this whole thing was. Still, basically, the theater I was trying not to. The theater I'm talking about is Shelton Cinemas. That's where I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp with my brother, and that's also the same theater where my mom went to go see Skyscraper. We went to Shelton Cinemas and watched different movies, 2 different movies. She went to see Skyscraper, and me and my brother went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And we were both at the same theater, as we were next door to each other in Shelton Cinemas on July 13th of 2018. There. That's the best way I could explain it. Hopefully I'm not, hopefully I don't regret this. I'm probably going to regret letting that information out, saying that it was Shelton Cinemas. Because now I'm thinking everyone's going to think that, oh, Shelton Cinemas, where is that? Is that where Matthias lived? I don't live there anymore, as I'm now in a different location that I will not say. I'm sorry. I just don't want people knowing where I live, and I think y'all would maybe understand that. I think y'all might understand that, because you probably wouldn't want to have your location revealed, and you just want to have your privacy. I don't know, Oh, hopefully I don't regret this. I don't know. I should probably let my dad know and see, like, if he says that, okay, it's cool. It's cool that you're cool. I don't know. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully I don't regret this. Anyways, now back to the review. Like, we lived in a small town, and there was only 2 theater rooms, and we went to go see 2 different movies. My mom went to go see Skyscraper, and me and my brother went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And what I remember about my mom telling me about her thoughts with Skyscraper was that she was on the edge of her seat throughout the entire movie, as it was pretty suspenseful, mainly because, The Rock was jumping off from a thingamajig, whatever that thing is called, to a freaking skyscraper, like, just... I don't know. I'll explain more thoughts about that once I review Skyscraper soon. So yeah, while my mom was just watching Skyscraper in Theater 1, at Theater 2, me and my brother were watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. And yeah, we had a blast watching the movie, but as the post-credit scenes rolled, yeah, I kind of knew what was happening since I sadly was swell, but I'm gonna say this right off the bat. Just seeing Hope Van Dyne along with Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym just get snapped into dust brought back major trauma from what I had to witness in theaters back in April of 2018. I will be talking about my thoughts on how Infinity War broke me in the theater once I review that soon in April, which will be in 2 months, as I'm going to be also reviewing Endgame along with the first 2 Avengers movies, because screw it, why not? We're in 2023. We're in the year where, yeah, everyone came back and just, yeah, I was hoping to just review the Avengers movies around when King Dynasty and Secret Wars would be coming out, but I'm pretty much MKing in as we're now in 2023, which, holy crap, I cannot believe we're actually in 2023, where we're in the year where Endgame took place. So yeah, that's just my experience with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now for my thoughts on the movies. So the movie is about Hank and Hope trying to bring back their mother, well, Hope's mother, Hank's wife, Janet Van Dyne, who we all thought died in Ant-Man as she saved a bunch of lives, as it was in a quick flashback in the first Ant-Man movie, but it turns out she may be alive, as she must have been trapped in the quantum realm for 30 flippin' years. So yeah, ever since Scott came back from the quantum realm, Hank had thought, I wonder if my wife is still alive. So yeah, the movie is basically about them trying to bring back Janet Van Dyne, but as they're trying to bring her back, they're dealing with probably like 2, well, technically 3 antagonists. 2 are mainly bad. One of them is... how do I explain this? So yeah, one of them would of course be Ghost, as she's the main villain of this movie. As for the other antagonist, which would be, Sunny... I forgot his entire name. He's basically, an evil bad guy that wants Hank's tech and sell it on the black market. Oh wow, I actually forgot his name. The only thing I remember is just Sunny. What was his first name? Unless Sunny is his first name. I don't know. I completely forgot. As for the third antagonist would be Jimmy Woo, which would be a cop that would be going after Scott, because let's just say if Scott broke the rules as he was under house arrest for 2 years, he would be spending prison for 20 years. But still, though, basically, Scott cannot get caught by the police or else he's going to prison for 20 years. And not gonna lie, I was hating Jimmy Woo's guts because I didn't want him to catch Scott, but now he's obviously one of my favorite characters in the MCU, as he is just the GOAT. And when is his show coming out? I heard that we may possibly get a Jimmy Woo show after all the hype and praise he's been getting in WandaVision back in 2021. I'm gonna say this right off the bat, Jimmy Woo has one of the best character developments in the entire MCU, and it has to do with a magic card trick.
Close-up magic. I learned that. How'd you do it, Scott? Do what? The card trick. Seriously?
Sir.
Can you knock?
Sorry, sir, but I just got a lead.
Ooh, I love leads.
James E. Woo, FBI.
I do hope we see Jimmy Woo again in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, along with Luis and the other gang. But the guts I hated the most was just Sunny, as he was just trying to get Hank's tech, so he's just selling the black market for $1 billion. Like, that type of money exists. By the way, that type of money does exist, I think. So yeah, I did hate his guts the most besides Jimmy Woo, because I didn't want Jimmy Woo to capture Scott, but I also didn't want Sunny to get Hank's tech, because he was a bad guy. As for Ghost, yeah, she's not a great MCU villain. She's just an okay villain from what I've heard. from other MCU fans. Now, I do find this a little bit weird, and it would sometimes bug me. Now, basically, she thinks that Janet will pretty much help her, as she's got, like, a ghost problem, as, like, her... It has to do with her phasing out, as she got powers from the quantum tunnel thing? I don't know. It was explained in the flashback. But yeah, she's practically dying, and she needs to be healed up or something, but just, to do it, it would end up killing Janet, and yeah, that's bad news. But they pretty much all worked out in the end either way, as they brought back Janet, and just, I don't know. I guess I was thinking that maybe they could have worked together. I guess I'm just thinking of how it should have ended situation, and technically how it should have ended already did a how it should have ended episode with Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think. I don't know if I checked that out. So either way, it worked out in the end. They got back Janet, and Ghost can now heal, like, she's pretty much okay, as she's all healed up and all that. Now, I will say this, I am glad that Ghost is coming back into the MCU, as she's now part of the Thunderbolts that will be coming out exactly next year, actually. But yeah, I can understand why it's a bit of a letdown, but I'm honestly glad that this movie is a bit lighthearted, as, I agree or disagree, but I think we just basically needed this type of movie after what we had witnessed with Infinity War, because let's just say that after watching Infinity War, you're just now devastated, and you just feel like crap after what happened in Infinity War, but you have Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out, and you can be like, okay, I can clear my mind off of things, as I could just watch a dumb, fun movie, and just, yeah, nothing could go wrong. Sure, I may set up a couple of things in the MCU, but just, I could just clear my things off from what I witnessed with Avengers Infinity War, and I could just enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it's just going to be a lighthearted movie. Until you're traumatized again to witness the post-credit scene. I don't know, that's just what I think, because just after watching Infinity War, it was just nice to just not remember anything that happened in Infinity War, because, like, I was traumatized with what I had witnessed, but watching Ant-Man and the Wasp cheered me up until that post-credit scene happened. But either way, I did enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp as just a lighthearted sequel. Sure, I would prefer the first one over the second one, but I like it that it's a lighthearted sequel. But as for Quantumania, oh yeah, that movie is gonna go full dark. Like, honestly, I think the Ant-Man trilogy is gonna be similar with the Spider-Man trilogy, as the first two movies were just pretty much okay and not dark. As for No Way Home, yeah, that got dark, especially with Aunt May's death. As for Ant-Man, the first two movies were okay and not dark, but for the third one, oh, it's gonna get dark, as Kang is gonna mess up Ant-Man, like, he's gonna get his ass whooped. Okay, am I just talking nonsense or something? I didn't even take notes for this one, because I figured I probably would do a better job just explaining my thoughts with Ant-Man and the Wasp, because sadly did not have a great experience with Ant-Man, as I never had the chance to see that in theaters or talk more about it, because, like, the first Ant-Man is a seriously underrated movie. As for Ant-Man and the Wasp, I do basically have a better experience with this, since I remember seeing it in theaters, which, thank God. Like, just, I don't know, I probably should have taken notes for the first two Ant-Man movies, but oh well. So like I said earlier, I can now understand why everyone thinks this is a bit of a letdown, like a step down from the first movie, and that they would prefer the first one over the second one. But with that being said, it's still an entertaining movie. Now, if I had to give a rating, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'd watch it again. But for Quantumania, oh, we shall see how many times I'll watch that movie, because I'm going to try to see it maybe 2 to 3 times in theaters. As for Avatar, I'm going to try to continue to keep seeing that until it's on Disney+. But with that being said, those are just my thoughts with Ant-Man and the Wasp that came out in theaters 2018. Now, I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but I remember making videos about my experience with the MCU. I've only made, well, technically 3 episodes, but honestly, I'm thinking of just kind of, let's just say, rebooting that entire thing. As in, I'm probably going to reboot episode 3. I gotta rewatch the first 2 episodes I did about my experience with the MCU, but, like, I would like to continue making videos about my experience with the MCU, because I would like to talk about my experience in general with the MCU from the beginning to what I'm currently am at the moment, and that would be my experience with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but I will make a video on that once the experience is over or something. Most likely when I don't know, we shall see, but just, I do want to make other MCU videos, just talk about my experience, but also my experience with which movies I got spoiled on, and which movies I saw in theaters, and sadly didn't see in theaters. Still, with that being said, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is coming out in 5 days, well, technically 6, since February 17th, but just know, movies come out early on Thursdays, and I am going to be seeing it in about 5 days, as I've already purchased tickets, well, 3D tickets, to see it on Thursday. And I gotta finish this Kang the Conqueror costume. I'm, like, almost done. I just gotta do some finishing touches. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.